Hi, I have got a jaw-dropping celery big reveal for you. This is the seedlings of celery, and I am so excited to show it to you. Usually you don't see me on the video today, but I'm just going to give you only celery today, so I didn't even want to give you a peek before I tell you a little bit about it. I'm using a technique called winter sowing method, also known as milk jug sowing. And what you do is you put your seeds out in milk jugs and put them out in the snow or cold. You can even do it in the spring and summer, but it's mainly done in the winter. And you put these seedlings out, you just plop them out in the snow, never give them another thought in the middle of, February, March, April. And then in spring, you have these gorgeous seedlings. So I've got 4 containers of seedlings, of celery seedlings, that I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. And I am so excited about them. Last year, I only grew 4 heads of celery because I had no idea if I could grow it or how hard it was, and it was phenomenal. I mean, they were like almost 2 feet tall, really good, sweet tasting celery. So if you're not into celery, I want you to pay attention and watch this video because I think you're going to be. If you are into celery, you're going to love it. I grow a lot of celery because I juice, and that gives a good high volume of nutrition in the juice. It's very highly anti-inflammatory, really good for you on so many levels. So you might want to think about growing celery if you haven't done it so far. So let me give you a peek. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? You're gonna get to see it now. I am so excited. Now, these all went in February 28th, which a lot of people go in sooner than that, but I would not go in any sooner with celery personally. Today is May 29th or 30th. It's Memorial Day weekend, 2016. So 3 months since I put these seeds in. But I didn't do a thing, didn't lift a finger. They just sat there doing their thing, waiting for Mother Nature to sprout them. Now, the first time I did this last year, I just put maybe 4 or 5 individual seeds, and I got the wispiest little, they were like horsehair thin. I mean, just these little, maybe 3 or 4 inches, little teeny stragglies, maybe a puff of leaves. They were very, very small seedlings. I thought, there is no way this is going to turn into a head of celery. And so I transplanted them anyway. Be darned if I didn't get 4 gorgeous heads of celery, 1.5 feet to 2 feet tall. And so I was just so excited. So this year I have a lot more, which you're going to see. And at the end, I'm going to show you how I got it out of the container and how I'm going to transplant them. We'll talk about that in a second. So this is Utah Tall Heirloom Celery, organic. And heirloom just means it's going to taste like your grandma's celery. It's going to have a lot of nutrition in it and be very true to form. And this is just fantastic celery. So let's look at the first one. Here you go. Ready? Oh my gosh. I have not opened it until this moment. I mean, I peeked in the little crack a little bit, but this is the first minute I'm opening it. Look at that. I can't remember when I first saw it sprout. I think 6 weeks after the seeds came in, it started to sprout. So it's probably been sprouted and growing like this in the container for 6 weeks. Wow. Now here's why I waited. Why am I putting it in this late? I would have loved to have put it in a month ago, but I'm in Ohio, zone 5B, and we just had a snow, I want to say 10 to 13 days ago, a freak snow even after my last frost date. So this would have been, it might have made it in the snow, but I didn't want to risk it. So I left almost a lot of my plants in until recently. So I'm having mass transplanting right now. So very happy with that. Okay, let's look at the next one. Same date. Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Same kind of results. So let's look down inside and see what we've got. I do experimenting all the time. I did a lot of experimenting. So with how many seeds go in a hole. Can you see that? There's a lot going on down there. So I put more than 1 seed in the hole. Remember, the first year I just put 1 seed. So I just got like 1 or 2 sprouts, but it did turn into a head. But this time I put in a lot more seeds. Let's see. Oh, I did write the seeds down. I don't always do that. I started a new method. I write H, that's an H for holes. So I had 7 seeds, 7 holes with 3 seeds in each, 3 to 4 seeds in each. This one I had 6 holes with 4 seeds. Okay, that makes sense. That's why this is so much bushier than last year. And I'm so glad I kept track of it. Now this one, I peeked in and it's smaller. Now I know why. I forgot about the holes. Look at this one. Same date, same seed, same soil, same container. Everything's the same. Why is it smaller? See this? Big, big, smaller. Because I put 7 holes, 2 seeds, and those had 3 to 4. So, but it's interesting that just the 2 seeds didn't even grow as big. Like it likes being clustered together. Wow. Okay, note to self, always cluster. So how am I going to transplant this? You can see there, it's kind of like a little head there because I made in very distinct holes, or, you know, sections with several seeds in them. I didn't just broadcast it like lettuce, you know, you just would put it all over. Let's look in here. I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. See, that's one head there. I could try and separate these out. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to experiment and take one or two of them and just like break it right down the middle and see if a head grows, because I just want to know. Because then I would get twice as many heads out of this container. But right now, I'm just looking in there easily. I've got 12 heads of celery. Are they called heads? I know a stalk is an individual piece of celery. I'm going to call it a head and pretend I'm right. I got 12 heads of celery right there. Not stalks, heads. Same thing here. Same thing here. Not quite as many. See right there? I'm probably going to keep most of them together, so I'll just take that whole little cluster of seeds and transplant it as one. That's a real small one there. So I am so happy with this. So now let's move this back and I'll show you the one that ooh, a slug. Oh, and now that slug, I'm glad it reminded me. I don't have one insect bite, no disease at all, not even a hint of any kind of disease or predators have gotten to this. That's one of the many, many, many great things about milk jug sowing or winter sowing is even if you think, oh, that's too much work, milk jugs, hassle, a lot of people just don't get it, they don't like it. Well, they don't know it to not like it, but they think it's going to be harder than it is and they may not get the right results. But one of the reasons is the seeds are protected. And the big reason, I mean, no animals will get to it, no diseases, no critters, no bugs, nothing will get to it. No birds will come and eat the seeds. No rains will wash away the seeds. That happens a lot. People, they go in ground and the seeds just get washed away in a big rain. None of that will happen with winter sowing. Everything's all contained in there. But the biggest reason we winter sow is because when you close up and tape up these jars, or jugs, they've all been taped with duct tape, holes on the bottom, duct tape. You get a greenhouse effect, which causes a lot of condensation inside the milk jug. So it is far superior to direct seeding, which is just putting your seeds in the soil in spring. And we also get much faster results with winter sowing as well. So that's why we're doing this. And I am going to have celery for days. That's an exaggeration. I'm going to have celery for months. Okay, so I wanted to take it out of the container. And you know I save my containers. A lot of people don't. They don't want to wash them. They think it's unsanitary. They think it's a waste, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think cutting the containers is a hassle. You know, you have to cut for days and drill the holes in the bottom. It's not that big of a deal. It's just I'm, you know, kind of a prima donna and don't really want to do it, but I do it. So I want to keep them, but I almost never cut them. But for celery, I'm cutting. Here's why. You can hardly see it because it looks just like the dirt. It came as one big lump and it was getting a little bit root bound because I had to wait because of the snow we had 10 days ago. So I just cut it off and I will not reuse this. I'm trying to think, I might use it for plant tags or something, plant labels. So I just cut it off and now I've got this, I'm going to hold it up for you, really together cluster of seedlings. Beautiful? Is that focused? I'm going to bring it in really close. Look at that. Now for people who don't like celery, this is a real yawner. But if you are a gardener, you're going to like growing this. And you know what? I've told this many times, but I was a new gardener and I just watched some YouTube videos 4 years ago. And I didn't hear any of the myths. I don't buy into anything where they say, oh, this is hard to do, that's hard to do. There's so many people that can't grow stuff, and then they go out and tell the world it's hard to do. Well, it's a bunch of bull. They think it's hard to grow celery. Does this look hard to you? Put seeds in dirt, tape up, sit outside, open 3 months later. Not rocket science. So these are going to be planted in my growing tubs, which you've seen are 2 by 3 feet, 8 inches deep of soil. Last year I grew them over there, which gets full sun, but partial shade. The sun comes down first, and it gets some shade in the daytime. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to put some on this side, which gets like mostly sunny all day. Put some there, and up on the hill, I might even put a couple in the 5-gallon buckets in partial shade. That one is solid partial shade. So, because you know, when you learn this, you Don't follow what I do. Don't follow what all the YouTuber people tell you to do. Follow your own intuition. You know, play around. Plant some in the shade, in the sun, in the partial. You learn your climate, your plants. Don't just follow what everybody else tells you to do. I'm learning what's best for me. And boy, I am sold on multiple seeds in a hole. I'll never do singles again. So each year I get better and better and better, and you will too. So here, I wanted to look and see. I did not mark how many holes and seeds I put in this one. That's the only one I didn't. But that one is on the, that's about the same size as this smaller one. But it looks like I did about 3 or 4 seeds. Yeah, that looks like 3 or 4 seeds in each one. So most likely, 90% of these, I'm just going to take the cluster and just break it apart. I could even do it right now, but I don't have a camera person. Yeah, I'm just going to do that right there. I mean, that's how easy it is. Okay, there, I just did it. Transplant. Look at this. Live action. In the soil. This is the exact bed I'm putting it in. Make sure they're standing up really sturdy. I actually like to, you know, I don't put them below the root line, obviously. It's not like a tomato where you bury the stem, but you want them in nice and firm. Oh, see, there's a whole bunch more soil that needed to go down in there. It's because I'm on the video. I'm not totally zoned into it. Okay. Now, if I can do it with one hand, you sure as heck can do it with 2 without a camera in your hand. That's it. This is where this is going to, this whole tray right here is going to be celery. I'll probably put them, I always plant too close. It's one of my big drawbacks. Okay, look, here I go. I'll probably put them, given how big it was last year, 8 inches apart. And I think it'll tell you to put them 16 inches apart, but, you know, I don't read the instructions ever. Yeah, about that far apart. So in this tray, I'll have 1, 2, 3. I'll probably go 3 back and 4 across. About a square foot. That's what I'm giving, is about a square foot per head. So anyway, are you excited about celery yet? I sure hope you are. Go down in the comment section and let me know what you think of my container winter sowing celery, and if you're going to grow it. If you have any tips for everybody, please put it in there. If you'd like to learn how to do winter sowing, make sure you go to the link below, and we have a fantastic group on Facebook, just the most wonderful group of people from all over the world learning to winter sow, and some veterans there who've been doing it for years that help everybody. So I would love to have you come join us in the group. Link below. If you like what I'm doing, please give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know this is the kind of video you like. I think that's it. Oh, and subscribe so you don't get left out, so you know what's going on. Love you very much. Sending you love from my garden to yours. See you on the next video. Bye-bye. I just had to give you a peek at the transplanting. Now, this is only 1 milk jug plus 2 more plants from a second milk jug. And these are the smallest of the ones. So you can see I experimented with different thicknesses. Now that one I'm already not happy with. It's too big. I should have split that one more in half. But we'll see. It's the only one that's that big. And you see how it's all falling down? I may take a little piece of string and tie it around that to hold it, to make it more stockish. Because it's so dense, it may just fall over. Could just be just because I watered, but I think that one might. Now I had to prop up a lot of them with extra soil around the base, because I did a light mist on them and they all wanted to fall over. So they're propped up pretty well now. But if you have them tilted from the beginning, they're going to be tilted their whole lives. Look how nice that one looks. So I have all different, you know, thicknesses, and that one was a little thicker there. That could have easily gone into 2 plants. And then I took these, I just took like 1 little sprig, and we'll see if that turns in. There's another one. To a full head. And you can see I have this much left from container number 2, and I did just reach my hand down just to save the container, and I wanted to see if I could do it, and it didn't disturb it at all. I just reached my hand down, grabbed one, and pulled it out. And then I still have these left. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of celery, but here's the problem. My beds are all filling up. And of course, the typical problem, I don't know where I'm going to have to go buy more buckets and more soil, and my garden is going to just take over my whole life. But I love it. See ya.